they just died, so you can't leave because we need your shit. Otherwise, we have to rename the castle, and that's just not going to work for us. The pop is our home, you understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think in one sense it's a little unfair. Because, I mean, he just died, and Warren has, like, gone through a lot so far, and if he wants to fucking leave, he should be able to do that without being guilted about not having one at the palace anymore, even though he's not fully trained. But on the other hand, they were totally planning on keeping him for a lot longer, so... and also on Nathan not dying, so I could see why she is just like, gotta secure that spot, you know? Like, gotta make sure that we're not gonna be without the thing that we need.
We can't lose the guy.
Yeah.
We gotta keep the guy.
Yeah. Because we can read, but we can't, like, do the prophet
We
thing.
can't do the thing.
Yeah.
You're absolutely necessary to our operation here, so... And it's not about money, because they get all the money they want anyways. So it's literally just about Warren's happiness. But yeah, he has not had a choice for a very long time. I think he's due one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Also, Warren's kind of disappointed that he didn't know a living prophet was giving the prophecies that he was studying. And that he was never allowed to speak to the guy. Like, he is your #1 scholar. I should have been in a room with that man all the time and learning stuff.
Right. Now, we know that he knew about Nathan and that he was a prophet, but I think he thought that Nathan could do the same thing he could and just, like, understand the prophecies. I don't think he knew Nathan was actively giving
the prophecies, right.
So I think that was it. It would have made a difference. I mean, we knew he already wanted to go talk to Nathan, and he was already a little sour that they wouldn't let him do that until he was older. But, yeah, so I just... it made me think about it for a second, because I was like, wait, he knew about Nathan, though. That wasn't, like, a secret.
Yeah, no, he knew he was in there. He just didn't know, like, the level of shit that he was doing.
Yeah, because that would have changed, like, I mean, opened up a whole new world for him in his studies.
Right. Now, Verna tries to make it better by saying that they would have eventually. In fact, we would have insisted upon it. But it doesn't really matter now, because Nathan's dead. So sorry about your luck, kiddo.
Yeah, I loved that Warren kept repeating, well, don't get the chance now, huh?
Yeah.
Like, he said it, like, twice.
Yeah. Ha. Guess it's fine. Gee, thanks, Verna.
That makes me feel so much better.
Here, kid, have a beer.
Can I have a beer?
You can, but that's not what we're having tonight.
Oh, that's true. Don't want to mix.
Yeah. No, because remember the spirit thing where I laughed earlier and it was all, everybody had a good time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's because we have rum tonight.
Rum and Cokes.
I think you guys know that we love our beer, and I just felt like this tonight. So here we are.
I just wanted something else. So there you have it.
Nothing fancy. We have Bacardi rum and gourmet, super good, 0 sugar cherry Pepsi.
Yeah.
Because we're fancy like that.
Yep.
And I got no complaints. This has been a staple. This is a bar staple for years.
Yeah.
Good old rum and Coke.
We went away from it for a while. We haven't revisited it for a long time because most of the places we go serve pretty good beer most of the time. But here we are.
And then when we're watching the seas, we'll get a solid vodka Red Bull.
Yeah.
I don't hate those either.
Sugar-free Red Bull.
Yes, the sugar-free again, but like, yeah, rum and Cokes are good, so I wanted it. So I'm sorry, guys, but I wanted it. You understand, don't you?
We'll be back with good beer next week because I'm going to insist.
Oh, twist my arm. Honey, we have to go get beer. Oh, I'm already in the car. Where are you? Anyways, we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. So, Verna tries to convince him that with practice, he could be as good as Nathan was. He could do the giving the prophecies as well as understanding it, you know?
Right. After, like, 400 or 500 years.
Yeah, it's not going to be a short thing here. And even though he wants to go explore the world and find the info that might be out there, she tells him he needs to stay so that he can be protected by the age spell and, have that 400 years.
Yeah, well, it's still going to be over half of his life, right?
Yeah.
They live to roughly 900, over 1,000 in some cases, but not often, sounds like, so...
Yeah, I mean, none of the other people in the palace seem to be older than 700 and some.
Yeah, so it's still a long-ass time. And again, once he leaves and goes out into the world, depending on how old he is, he may only have like 20 years left. So it'll be the fastest worldwide trip ever for him.
Well, and, is his body going to be able to do that? Because you do age.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Time.
It's just, he's going to have so little time to do the thing that he really wants to do. And it's all in, service to the creator and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay. I did his thing for a little while. I was kind of hoping I could, do me.
But Verna is like, hey, look at the toll that aging has taken on my body. I'm not looking so hot anymore. And Warren's like, hey, there's wrinkles that aren't there that you're seeing. Because I think you're looking pretty good. This leads Verna to be like, you know what? I used to have the hots for you, a long time ago. And that shocks Warren for a second. And then she's like, yeah, but that was 100 years ago, and you kind of seem like a child to me now.
Why bring it up?
Yeah, it was a burn.
I used to like you. Okay. And even if Warren's like, oh, then she goes, now I don't, though.
And I look at you as a child.
That's
demeaning as
that
fuck.
Little detail. But I was going to say, and then there was the whole Jed thing. She was with somebody else.
Yeah.
So she obviously did not like him anymore. And it's like, okay, well, you could have left that out then. Or just not told me at all.
I don't know why you're dangling this carrot now and then
what gives?
Swiftly snatching it away. Thanks. Warren tells Verna that he will think about staying and helping out the Pop as a prophet. The conversation then turns, though, to who will become the next prelate. It's going to be a rigorous process, it's going to take a while, and all the sisters are going to be playing the politics of the whole fucking thing. Who's going to back their favorite person, all that shit.
Yeah,
Getting favors,
Right away, they make it sound like a real shit deal, where it's like, okay, the people who are the front runners are going to move to the top, and then everybody else who's not is just going to get behind their person. And, I mean, it's what we have here.
Yeah, you have to be qualified enough to do it in the first place, and then have the connections to stay there, and
then everybody's just gonna say the other person is evil. So it's like, what's the point? Anyways, it's complicated. It's complicated. And it's a big deal. It's like the Pope. They have to go through a whole thing with him, too.
Yeah.
To select the next guy, because... there has to be, or at least in this case, a prelate.
Yes.
Right, not a guy.
No. Not a guy. Warren asks who Verna is going to be, going for, who she's going to be backing, and she's like, I have no influence. You're just seeing the wrinkles. I'm not actually that old. Nobody really gives a shit about me. And Warren's like, well, you better fucking get some influence then. I don't know what you're doing sitting on your ass here, because we have a problem, okay?
We got campaigning to do, sister. Let's fucking roll.
Yeah, she's confused at first. She's like, what do you mean? And he's like, Sisters of the Dark? That was a thing. Do you really think that they're all gone from the palace? Because I fucking don't. She tries to give him, a very PC, safe answer about this. She's like, well, we don't have any proof. We can't really make claims like that, And he's like, don't fucking do that. I'm not going to stand for you sitting here and, doing that. I'm not.
Your double talk bullshit.
Yes.
Don't do that to me. That's a trick. I know you're doing it, so just talk.
Yeah, talk to me on the level that I should be talked to at this point. We should be at, a level playing field here at this point.
Yeah, Verna, I can't help but notice you're talking to me like I had my collar on still, and I'm still a student or whatever, but I just want you to take a look right here. Yeah. A little more respect, please. Thank you.
Well, yeah. And Verna gets offended by him talking to her like this and tells him not to disrespect his sister like that. Don't fucking do that. And Warren, he's just amazing. He's beautiful in this chapter. I love him. He puts her right in her fucking place. He's like, we're the same age. It's not disrespect to stand up for your beliefs, by the way. And you know it was fucking to keep me in the collar in the fucking first place. And I may be your student when it comes to, like, the use of the Han and things, because I'm not a great, all-powerful wizard yet. But when it comes to prophecy, you don't know shit. And I do. So you're my student when it comes to that. So, yeah, you've gained my respect, but not my submission.
Yeah.
Boom.
Microphone drop.
Yes, I loved it. I had to write all that out because I was just like, yes, yes, yes.
Well, it's like what we were talking about earlier. Nathan was trapped in his apartment for so long, but he was the guy driving all the prophecy at the palace of the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
So now, like, Warren's the dude. He knows that.
Yeah.
They need him.
And he seems to have transcended the bullshit of the palace that
Right.
was like, oh yeah, we should follow these rules and this is right and this is wrong. He's thinking for himself outside of that box. And that's awesome.
Which is funny too, because we've seen a lot of leaders here at the Pop do that.
Yeah.
Just like Prelate Anne. She was like, yeah, the rules are, whatever, the rules. But there's an okay way to go about things outside of that too. And not freak out about it.
Yeah, and just because they're the rules doesn't mean they're always necessarily the right thing either. So Verna says, you know what, you're right. I do believe...
Of course I am.
She does believe that there's others at the palace who may belong to the Creeper. Okay. Who may belong to the Keeper, meaning wizard. She means that there's going to be guys there too, because we know fucking Jedediah, right? We all remember Jedediah. But right now, even if they find out who might be sworn to the Keeper, they don't have a good plan to deal with it. So we're going to put that on the back burner for now. Warren mentions having Richard just come handle it all, because he did that so beautifully the last time, and Verna's like, death follows that man, we're not going to fucking go down that road. And
Richard tends to make a mess, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she also mentions not being able to find him, but I think also inherently with the mess comes the ability to find him, sort of. Like, you could follow the mess towards him, and then just be like, hey, you seen a dude with a big-ass sword, hands through his hair, he's kind of,
You know the guy.
Yeah.
If you saw him, you would know who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
But Warren defends Richard like a good goddamn friend, saying it would have been worse without him. Okay? He had to be there. If it wasn't for him, there would have been a lot more dead bodies at the palace than just Nathan and the Prelate.
Yeah, we would all be so much worse off if it wasn't for him right now.
Yeah, so don't be talking shit, Verna.
So my vote is that we start just right over there at the tail end of the shitstorm and follow it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let's go get that dude.
Yeah.
Hero.
Verna's like, no, we can't count on anybody but each other, and they will figure it out somehow. Warren hopes so, because apparently there's some prophecies about the rule of the next prelate, but he doesn't elaborate in any way, because that's fun.
Which gives so much more, like, weight to his concern about a Sister of the Dark being elected as the prelate. Like, they talked about it for a minute, and then they kind of decided, hey, what can we do? So we're just not really going to do anything, and, what the hell? Now there's a prophecy, a thing that they're all there to study and pay attention to, and he's like, I have a really bad feeling about this, so just be aware. And she is just playing it off like it's not that big of a deal.
There's like a scene change at the end of it, like he says it, and then it like, the scene dissolves and they're walking through the city, and it's like
just starting over.
What? Like, did she ask a question? Like, did she ask a follow-up question? Was she like, what are those prophecies?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Warren? Could we be filled in a little bit? Because I feel like that conversation didn't just stop.
Anything that's gonna give us an advantage right now would be well appreciated. So make with the info, dude.
But while they're walking through the city, there's a lot happening. The palace is ringing a bell every few minutes announcing the prelate's death, and that's going to continue until sunset. That's been going on for a day. Not too long, still incessant, still annoying.
That's every few minutes.
Yes.
But it's a bell, so it's not like a siren or an air horn or anything. It's just one, and it's every few minutes. So yeah, it's a lot, but you could stand it for one day.
One day. On top of that, though, are the drums. Since 3 days ago, they've been there drumming to alert everybody to the impending arrival of the Emperor, driving everybody fucking nuts. Like, this is not every few minutes. This is ongoing, nonstop.